Greetings everyone, boys and girls. James here speaking. Tonight is on evening, Friday's evening. Um, this tonight, the buses will be at coming up to a bus station terminal to Stock bus station, and we are actually are starting to the filming to full experiment to extended cut editor scene, and we have to two badge of kind of had to as I made those polymer clay. Let's have those stuff like stuffed animals, penguins, birds, pigs, crocodiles, lions, cats, stuff, pencils, kind of like this Angry Birds clay pencil that's all per topping into the head. And this is what I was made the clay animation art department. So this will be a small campaign. Small costs have small cases to be, and I just going to be follow this Nippon Haku Bangkok 2019. This is actually the very first event, first time, and it's entitled, let's call it Real Life The Matrix. So this is actually real world and the real life fictional medias here, and this hasn't had if the matrix are real has a defining are just cans. This I had to, and does also have to try the center colors look like. Whoops. As I colors as I look like them. And this cans to be that I have the cans that open the cans bottles that look like. It has the red ones and then blue one. Actually to see it is here the red ones. The red ones, it will take you into the real world, and the blue one was it will take you into to stay in the computer program as you want to have to appear to the live action and anime, and to do it like a stunt actors, stunt coordinators, and stunt directors and the animations. This animated to the characteristic. It just had to, and I also had to be a lot cans, bottles, and there's something at the warehouse. Oops, there's a minute drop there. Clearly it did drop out here. Oh, there goes it. Drop the cans. And sitting on the knees. Any kinds there. And the same way here. That's the best thing I have to. I drink them to soft drinks at about 30% chance. And we actually hit this diets. As the soft drink is just cost the sugars and diets. And I had to gotta have to enough their drinks, the soft drinks. So probably have the 30% chances. Maybe I should to the early 2020 that I have decided to clean up our messy this computer room, and something that will make this it is and honestly, this is where I have intentional small department development displays, and this roof in here, bunch of frames, acrylic painters, the Bob Ross art style, and the others as over here we had Japanese toys here. Since I was a little kid here, it's kind of It's obviously it's an old one. Maybe I had should be ever taken to a stop motion animation. This 2020s industry. This individuals, people at work on to indoors and outdoors have cleanly, as I was do a cleaner. Maybe it's additional to terrify as a fictionally. As a fictional says there was I could just have a converse. I remember I watched movies this movies like a Blades and the Spider-Man's 2000 films. Do we have to watch them? Everything's every time, so like 500 times. And I was called up there. Trustfully here, we just had some fandoms, fan this here as community creation speed, and the people was always his fans. People like the favorite movies. I like to see the big screens of the Matrix movies, and even the child is has a little kids here. That you probably there's a Power Rangers. So the Power Rangers Mega Force, the Super Mega Force, and it's trying to climb it. It's mighty dragons, flying uppers. It's better just good thing animated. And in fact that was. And this one's actually this old one says toys. It says made in toys. And I just have gonna be admitted as a rumor with this Transformers official, the Twilight here, the series, and bunch of dirt out of it here with that dirty here, a blinked DDV as a placeholders of a DDV as placeholder, and I have this shiny looks as a Pixels, a Pac-Man. I just really want to see. It's a good things here. One thing I was brought with a Pixel Pac-Man, and there's a kind of clones Lego breaks. That's just kind of tiny. It's tiny. It looks a good detail. It's actually good. It's not that bad. And in fact, my camera here, and I have to show you. And I had to. This one here is it says actual of an old camera, Lumix, a Panasonic. So I was gonna be looks out here. Is it make the behind the scene voice. It's still running, works. So actually, does it have to do with a favor? Is it gonna be to do with a favor with that? It says an extended imagery, like individuals. It's always said this. I have this gonna be at running this old camera, and this one old one a laptop too, and perhaps is that the older camera does have a running just low battery, just has requirement plug anybody else with this case cable battery charger and only single plug. For that reason why, so that it's only one this plug, and I need to buy it have to do with the pen Sonic side. I decided to clean out here completely. Roommate here. Legacy stuff. And in fact, the spider web, dirty is going on here. I was around as old as years has passed. It's just been about and it's like 10 years has passed. That room completely dirt. As always, it have to gonna be self-head employees. If I was wonders, I was cleaner without being my family. They had to tie people, is they have to cleaner, they have to clean up to room, they have to clean to hotels, buildings, as office, and to pay something in the bills. As operant has a good standards, it's my ways, it's my own. As apparently to my sisters, she have been sending it to the employees somewhere in the country that Europe and distant. And I had this listening to music and enjoyed to be Blur, Gorillaz, Smash Mouth, Green Day, Maroon 5, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and something like that. As a boy band music generations. Oops, I farted. I apologize. So, and I just listening to the music, the generations, decade around the worldwide. Because people are like the Blur and Gorillaz. And I actually fans of Blurs and Gorillaz. I just have with this is a Gorillaz. Can you see this shirt? They have four kind of small band group has a 4 members. I just had to be I want to wish to make the video diary. That's to make so much have video diary, and I want to met at schools and I met have worked as a cleaner, clean up their stuff, and remember as always, Pixels buying the hairs had to paste onto a words have reward. There's a part with afterwards. There's a torch to be. As it has to be a wish. I wish it has the aspirations of famous with artists as a visual artist. And if I really wonder that I'll keep his avenge my arts teacher. Avenge my art teacher supported with Bob Ross. He was legendary since Bob Ross's art style, says many painting. And I just have equipment to watercolors, acrylic painters, as poster painters. As a literally this is enters technique, the techniques of painters. And I just studied too with the intersect technique with it, how to do the Bob Ross here. And I had to paint him always a lot have paint on a field and a piece of paper, a big paper, and a workspace. Probably has equipment of poster paint, acrylic painters. It's a mixed models. So I just oops, I just hitting with that pieces. Let's move the distant camera. This was clone here. It's actually a Gundam's Transformer. As is surprisingly, it's a clone version as a Transformers. I just do have I wonder if we're gonna wish these costumes cosplay with that robot, red and white robot things. How much this time is it's about because it's difficult. It's about hold on a second. So difficult. That's difficult. As you see here, it's 20 p.m. And I really that's sad. And I really have a hopefully it's have the interesting and which is actually the I'm being going with the Nippon Haku Bangkok for organizers originally named Japan Expo in Thailand, which is purposely it is opened it to way back to years 2012 or even 2013, and I don't know what does that have this where they have this found as a foundation to by Thai governments, I mean the Thai people's organizers, and they had people are brought with events with a 3 days period. The events have had to took place with it, and actually I never heard about the events that before when I was a child and teenage, and I looking up to on the internet. As apparently this the Thai people have childs looking teenage boys and girls look 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old teenage boy. I mean, I might have to say, I gave it about as it looked like teenage bodies part of its stage, as a kind of look looking at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old teenage body stage, and I'm usually young adult, but unfortunately it's starting to rain out there, and I was really except I was supposed to carry on to it. Maybe this is really a little bit raining. A lot seriously raining. It's outside surrounded heavy state. Onto weather's system. It's got a had a shower rain chance. The weathers. It's assuming with the had a document here. And obviously it says that rain is out there, and I could get an attempt to go it. Maybe it's just had a long ways about a long time having an age, and deserving the by privilege to have a far its patience by its fictional patients are existing to the real world events are the Asians, Southeast Asians of Thailand, and had it be highly the population of the Bangkok city. This basically is lively, is very peaceful. Is a hats is simply that there's and to get life being the early lifelong to a first day of school, a special kind of person, and are usually born from the scenes of the Europe in its distant as originally to speak, and I just had to be I was the first computer for programs the first time since I was a child to have a 7-year-old, and I have grew up with that came as teenagers, what I feel is I have a like it. A lot of us have the time so lots but play it. A lot of things here as a junior high of a school or college is simply like cool. Always have a though have a had the web internet is mediums here as a because personally is integrated to be YouTube, Facebook, Twitter's, Tumblr, Instagram, even art, newsgrounds, bloggers, everybody else. Always have locals as a local developer work in the indoors there without being too playing to internet so and hasn't got a life to be in jobs without work and they give them life to a new jobs there employees as a father so here I have this falling sleepers carrying on to my human mind's head's brain instead of computer program as instead as I have to the internet computer programming this personality is in order to take them keep them active alive with their lifetimes in this real world and just comes to pick up the real life in the general spheres and the generation of a real world and have to pick up to have the real life and it's really self-respecting especially there's have enslavements there's have the enslavement on the Bangkok there's a Bangkok city of a rise that have to overflowed by the hundreds million people that's at 10 million people world shipping BNK48 teamers he slaved the fan clubs of BNK48 and idol girl group obviously that were shippings to the BNK48 and they have to took controls that take controls that Thailand has took place with it and simply they have the organizers the government to be is operated to be to make the music. I'll be right back.